Hi, I'm Lou, and today I'd like to show you how to repair a drywall hole. If you have the original pieces that came out of the hole, it's best to use those. If not, you'll have to go to the hardware store and buy some scrap drywall and cut it to fit. If your drywall hole is not square because it was caused by a piece of furniture or a fist, you'll need to cut it to a square shape with a drywall saw that you can pick up for about $3 at the hardware store, or if you're careful you can use a serrated kitchen knife. Next, use a knife to make sure that all the edges are at least flat, or even better yet, angled in a little bit. Next, get some scrap wood, plywood or otherwise, that's at least 3/8 inch thick, at least 3 to 4 inches wide, and cut it so you have pieces that rim all the way around the edge of the hole. We're going to be mounting our frame on the back side of the hole like this. In this case over here, where I'm up against a stud, I've chosen to span it like this. Another option for this case is to take a 2x4 scrap and screw it into the stud this way. Before you mount your board, tape washers in place where you're going to put the screws. You might put a couple of marks on the drywall to make it easier to find them, because you want to put the screws right through the middle of the washers. Now hold the wood tightly in place and screw it in. Over tighten the screw a little bit so it dimples down. I know I said it's better to use the original drywall if you have it, but if it's all messed up on the back and soft in the front, don't use it, get a new piece. You should also trim any high edges off your new drywall patch, and it should fit in like this. The washers we installed make sure this patch is slightly lower than the surrounding drywall. Now screw it in place. If this were a bigger patch or between two studs that you'd have to worry about flexing, then at this point you'd want to put on fiberglass drywall tape across all the seams, and you can get this stuff in the painting aisle at the hardware store. For our small patch, we don't really need drywall tape, and it makes it harder to get a smooth finish. Now we need to mud the joints. I like to use lightweight spackling. It feels like there's nothing in the can and it looks like Play-Doh inside. To apply it, we'll need a small drywall knife to put it on, and to smooth it out with a very large knife that spans the entire hole. Starting with a small knife, just press the mud into the joint all the way around. While you're at it, also cover the screw holes. With everything filled, now go around with your scraper and make sure that outer edge is completely scraped off. We'll let that dry for about an hour. Now that it's dry, we'll knock off any high spots with a sanding sponge. This is available next to the drywall supplies in the paint aisle. Now we put a big glob of lightweight spackle in the middle and spread it out using the big knife. It should be looking somewhat like this, and then you want to finish with one long swipe where the top of the blade and the bottom of the blade are touching the outside wall, and go all the way across. And we'll let that dry for an hour. And we'll sand that a little bit and repeat with another coat. To make your final coat go a little smoother, mix some of the mud with some water so it comes out looking like shaving cream. And here it is after the final sanding. It should be very smooth and have almost no noticeable bump when you move out away from the patch onto the drywall. Using a paintbrush will leave streaks and make your patch look different than the rest of your wall. So when you paint this, use a roller. To help make your patch blend in, don't do square edges to the painting. Always do kind of a rounded shape. At the end, with your roller fairly dry, do what's called feathering the paint out, or go like this to where you kind of paint lightly right outside the edges. So you go from thick to thin paint. This blends it in to the outside wall. Thanks for watching, and good luck patching your drywall.